So I'm going to be powering my main telescope tonight off the Jackery. Everything of my telescope is powered through my Eagle LE, including the mount. So the only thing that's going to be plugged into the Jackery is my Eagle LE. Now my Eagle LE is able to draw a maximum of 15 amps. So I am hoping that it draws no more than like 5 to 6 amps to run the whole thing tonight. If it draws that much, then I should be good on AC power. I'm going to test it on DC as well, and I'll hook up my my other setup that all runs on DC. I don't need any of it to run on 120 volt except my laptop. But I'll put a timestamp in here of when I start my setup. I'm going to image the Wizard Head Nebula tonight. I'm not expecting anything spectacular because there's supposed to be clouds going through all night. And so I'm just going to get as many frames as I can, run it until this Jackery dies, and we'll find out from there. And I'll come back every couple hours and see where the Jackery's at, but it's charged to 100%. So once the sun goes down, I'll come back, let you guys know, and flip it on and start imaging. So I'll see you guys when the sun goes down. All right, so it is 8:17. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Jackery, plug me into the AC port, turn on the AC, and right now it's drawing 2 watts without anything on yet. So let's go ahead and turn the computer on. We're at 7 watts. So 13 watts. So 15, 13 watts. Okay, so I need to come in here and I need to turn on each one of these devices. But right now, without any devices running, I'm at 16 watts, 17 watts. So I'm going to go inside and I'm going to turn on all the devices and we'll see what happens. All right, so this is the manager. It looks like it's pretty on par with the Jackery as far as wattage. It's saying I'm using about 27.1 watts right now. That's actually not half bad. If it actually stays at about 30 watts, I might be able to get a total of 8 hours. I know that with my other setup that I take out into the field, that I take out to, dark skies, it's not going to use nearly as much power as far as I know. I think that's going to be closer to like maybe 15 to 20 watts, which is great. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and I'm going to start my Polmaster. So I want to see how far off on Polaris I am. So connect. Oh, that is... Hoo-wee. Man, why is that so bright? It's not usually that bright. Yeah, I guess that'll... I'm not... Oh, you know what? I will be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. Sitting there trying to figure out why everything was so bright. I completely forgot that I left the backyard spotlights on so I could see out there. I've got 2 spotlights that go right to my mount so that I can see at night without the use of a headlamp. I still use a headlamp with red light if I'm imaging. But yeah, that was the issue. So, and this is the Polmaster, by the way. This is my preferred way to polar align because I think it's just better in every way. But yeah, literally all you do is you just follow the instructions. Select parameters to the left to move star around till Polaris is visible. So this is Polaris right here. So click finish. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and close it and I'll start it from the beginning. And I actually also need to open Nina really quick, connect my mount so that I can get controls of my mount. So QHY163M. Now I just do my mount at the moment, which is the EQ ASCOM. So I'll go ahead and connect that. Once it connects, I should get EQ mod up. Yep, right there. So that's what I'm looking for. That gives me the telescope controls. So now, move those over there and reopen Polmaster. Just make that, oh, whatever, I'll just make it full size. So then you just hit connect, and it brings up this screen that tells you over here, select the parameters to the left to make sure more stars around Polaris are visible. So you want to do the exposure time, so I usually do about 100 milliseconds. The gain sometimes I have to put up, but in this case it's not really going to help. You click finish, and then it says double click Polaris and use the rotate slider on the left to rotate the template to match up to the stars around Polaris. So all you do is you double click Polaris as best you can. It's kind of hard to, there we go. And then what you do is you just drag this around. I can just drag it like this until you have these stars in each one of these circles. And you want them as centered as possible. I'm going to do one more plus, so about right there. They're all relatively close to center. Once that's done, you hit success. I always hit no. I don't like using the same axis center position, so I always hit no. Then it says choose a star other than Polaris and double click it in the image. I usually go for this one because it's the most visible. And then right here, you want to unpark the telescope, and then I change this to 4, and then all you simply do is rotate your mount RA axis in the direction indicated by the arrow now at the top of the screen. So you want to move this so that it goes around in a circle like that. So that's usually, for me, I believe that's east. Nope, that is west, sorry. So you want to hold this down and move your telescope west by at least 30 degrees. That should be good right there. Once that's done, you click finish, and then you go to that same star you had the first time and double click it, and then rotate it another 30 degrees. So I usually put it about right there. So that's good. Click finish, then double click the same star one last time, double click it, and then just park the mount. And as long as this star right here follows this green circle, then you know you did it right. So once you do that, let it park, and then EQ mod is no longer needed. You hit correct if it followed that green circle. Then it says double click Polaris. So right there, and then adjust this one more time to make sure everything is nice and center. Hit success. And then it says use your altitude and azimuth bolts. Move Polaris into the center of the small rotating circle now shown on the image. So what you want to do is you want to take Polaris right there, and you want to move it into this circle. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and I'm going to go do that really quick because I have to go out to my mountain. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get Polaris in that spinning circle just like I have it right there. Now once that's done, you click finish. Then double click Polaris and use the rotate slider on the left to rotate the template to match up to the stars. So double click Polaris again, and then you move these until the stars are in the middle again. So you can't see this one because it's behind that power line right there, but that's a success. And then right here, I'm not going to do this one because this is like really fine adjustment, but you can click Start Monitor, and what you want to do is put that green square in line with that red circle. Now, I'm close enough, I'm not going to worry about it for tonight, but that's all there is to Polaris, or to Polmaster, so I figured I would let you guys know that. So I click finish, and then I exit out. So now I can go back into Nina, and I can connect the rest of my stuff. At the same time, I'm looking at Polaris, or to EQ, or Prima Luce Lab monitor, Eagle Manager. We're at about 20 watts right now. Alright, now, with everything connected and on, still telling me 20.4 watts. So let's see what would happen if I hit the cooling and say that I want it to be 12 degrees. Go ahead and hit that and see where it jumps to. So we're using cooling power of 100%. So yeah, we're all the way up to 44, 45 watts. I want to see it get down to 12 degrees and then hold that temperature and see what we're at for that temperature. So there we go, it's starting to hold, and it's using about 30%, 9%, 1.96%. Okay, so it's varying on the percentage it's using to keep the camera at the cooling that it's at. So it looks like it's leveling out right around 40%. 30 to 40%, I believe. And so that is using just a few more watts. That's not half bad. Okay, so we're still sticking around right around 22 watts, 22 to 24 watts. Alright, well, I'm going to start imaging. I will come back when I get the first image and we'll see what the wattage is at. Alright, so when it started slewing, it's settling now, but when the mount started slewing, it jumped all the way up to 50 watts. So slewing takes a lot of power, but it seems to only take a couple watts to keep the mount guiding or on the target. So that's not bad. So we're looking at 26.3 watts so far. I'll bring you guys back when I actually get to imaging and see what happens. Alright, so I'm doing my autofocus routine now. So the focuser is working. So I'm seeing, as it's doing the autofocus routine, it's jumping between 25 and 30 watts. And that's when it's exposing. So it looks like hopefully I'll be staying right around 30 watts for this whole rig. If that's the case, that should give me 6 to 7 hours of imaging time with my main rig that takes more wattage than my, than my GEM 2080C. So I'm going to go ahead and let this go, and I will be back with you guys here in a couple hours when I get everything done that's imaging, and we'll see what the Jackery is at. Alright, it's about 2:20 in the morning. It's been about 6 hours since I turned on this telescope. As you can see, it's still on. It just finished imaging about 30 minutes ago. I fell asleep, so after 6 hours of use, let's see what our wattage on the Jackery is. We still have 33% more power, so that is not bad. And it's still outputting about 27 watts, so 30 watts of power an hour, I believe. So that's closer to like 8 or 9 hours it can run this telescope. For 8 or 9 hours. That is not bad at all. That's really surprising. I didn't think I was going to get that much, because I actually, just before I fell asleep, I was thinking, man, I'm going to get like 5 hours and it's going to die. That's really surprising. That means that this can be my new battery that I take out to the field with me. I'm excited about that. All right, well, that's the video. I'll see what image I got, and whatever I got, I'll put at the end of this video so you guys, so we have a video or a picture for the end of the video. So I'll see you guys in the next one.